Hi everyone. All I want to say is right now, I am craving and having an urge for Frosted Flakes. A bowl of cereal sounds so good right now. And it is not on my meal plan at all. And I just wanted to document me going through this urge and me getting on the other side of this urge and this craving to have the bowl of cereal. And it all started earlier because I kind of got off my meal plan because I was out of my routine. And I was away from home and I was with my son. We had to eat something because it was lunchtime and he wanted Canes. My first thought was there's nothing healthy at Canes. But I went there anyway, and now my thought in my negotiation, and really keep in mind, in my mind, I'm negotiating with myself to have the bowl of cereal, which is a terrible thing if your negotiation is not on the healthy path for you. So right now my negotiation is, well, you already ate bad earlier. What's a bowl of cereal? Terrible thought and belief and action if I decide to take it. Because the result is now I'm even further from my goal for today. And I'm further from the weight loss journey. And I'm even reinforcing the neural pathway of negotiations work. All I have to do is just break it down for myself and like make it make sense and kind of give in to the urge. And urges are tricky. They are. When I was a drug and alcohol counselor, we talked about urges all the time. And I used to tell people a urge will last about 20 minutes and you can make it through the urge. And that is true. And one time after a group where I stated that, the very next time the group met, a woman came back and she said, "You lied to us." And I thought, "About what?" And she said, "My urge lasted all day." And as I started processing urges, I see what she meant, because once I get through a urge, and it might not last 20 minutes, it might last for 5 minutes, I can have another urge to eat a bowl of cereal in 30 minutes from now. And I'm back to the same cycle of processing an urge. So for me to process this urge, the first thing I do is I'm aware. Second thing I do is I name it to tame it. So I pretty much say, okay, I'm having an urge. And I'm not going to go into why in my mind or what it is. But the next thing I'm going to do is describe how it feels in my body. And right now, my urges feel like anxiety. Like I feel it in my stomach. My stomach is tight. My chest is kind of tight. And the anxiety comes from wanting the bowl of cereal and trusting myself to not take and eat a bowl of cereal. So it's really the trust that I have, and I'm anxious about it because I've succumbed to this urge a lot in my past, and that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to build a new neural pathway. So those 3 steps are your first steps to this emotional tunnel of going through the urge. And you just kind of wait it out, and once a negotiation comes back, because it could, when I do those 3 things, I could say, well, you already ate bad today. What's a bowl of cereal? Recognize that it's a negotiation, and you can direct your mind right there and say no. Just say no. You are in charge. And that urge will start to dissipate as soon as you go through those 3 steps, and you will get to the other side. And if it comes back, you do the same thing. You can also add a couple more steps to it. One is you can breathe. For sure, breathing always helps because it's going to slow down your mind. It's going to slow down your heart rate, your pulse, but especially your thoughts. It's going to slow everything down. Another step is your self-talk. Talk yourself through to the other side. Remind yourself why you have this goal. Remind yourself why you don't want to eat the bowl of cereal right now, or whatever your thing is. Really remind yourself and be your own cheerleader. Be your own therapist in your mind, and kind of root for yourself, like you can do this. You can get to the other side. And remember a time when you did. And lastly, and throughout all the steps, always have compassion and grace for yourself. because this is a new skill and you do have to practice it. It's like riding a bike for the first time. You might fall off, but when we were learning how to ride a bike, you never thought, I'll never be able to do that. Or you might have had that one thought, you're like, no, because what you wanted was to ride the bike. You wanted to learn how to ride the bike. So you pushed those thoughts away and you kept practicing. And this is what you do with processing an urge with food. You keep practicing it and building a new neural pathway that takes you to no, and then you don't even feel anything. And then you'll just go from urges to triggers, and those are a lot different. Triggers are like you might see Frosted Flakes and you might remember like, oh, I used to always like fall for them. And now you're like, this is interesting. I just remember how I used to like them, but I don't have that urge, that urgency to eat it, and that desire that can overcome your mind and your actions. Remember, you are in control, and use that higher part of your brain, that executive functioning part of your brain, and not that primitive brain that we have. And you are well on your way. Practice, practice, love and compassion. And hey, peace and love to everyone. And follow me because I will update you. I already just talked myself through the urge when I did this. So it was great. Everyone should have a Facebook group and a YouTube channel because you can get on here, process your urge in front of everyone, help someone, and then help yourself. So peace and love to you. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.